This happened on a normal day, middle of the afternoon, nothing unusual. I had just stepped out to grab something quick, and on my way back, I stopped at a small convenience store near my place. It wasn't busy, just one cashier behind the counter and one other guy inside. He was standing off to the side near the drinks fridge, not really looking at anything, just there. I remember noticing him because he didn't move. Not when I walked in, not when I passed him. He just kind of watched. Not directly, but enough that you could feel it. I grabbed what I needed and went up to the counter. The cashier was already ringing something up, but there wasn't anyone else there. That's when I realized she wasn't scanning anything. Her hands were moving, pressing buttons, but nothing was actually on the counter. And she didn't look at me. Not once. She just kept her head slightly down, eyes forward. Then she said, very quietly, "Do you need a bag?" It didn't match the situation at all. I hadn't even put anything down yet. I just said no. And for a second, I thought maybe I was overthinking it. But then she said, "Okay, just take your time." Same tone, flat, like she was trying to sound normal but couldn't quite get there. That's when I looked over at the guy again. He hadn't moved, but now he was facing us. Still not holding anything, just standing there, watching. And I don't know why, but something about that moment, the way she was acting, the way he was just standing there, it didn't feel like a coincidence. It felt like something was about to happen. I didn't say anything. I didn't ask anything. I just picked up what I had, left it on the counter, and walked out. Calm, not rushing, just walked. I didn't even look back. Got into my car, sat there for a second, and tried to convince myself I was just being paranoid. Then maybe 30 seconds later, I heard it. A loud noise from inside the store. Not like something dropping, something sharper. Then another one. I looked up, and through the glass I could see movement. Fast. People ducking. And that's when it clicked. I drove. Didn't think about it. Just left. Later that evening I saw it online. Same store, same time. The guy inside had pulled a weapon, tried to rob the place. The cashier was already being threatened when I walked in. That's why she didn't look at me. That's why she was talking like that. She wasn't ringing anything up. She was trying to act normal, for me. And the part that stuck with me the most was how easy it would have been to ignore that feeling, to stay, to wait, to ask questions, to get pulled into something I didn't even understand yet. But something about the way that moment felt told me not to. And for once, I listened. This happened late. Not crazy late, maybe around 10:30. I was home alone, just relaxing. TV on low, lights off, except for the lamp in the living room. Nothing unusual. Then there was a knock at the door. Not loud, just 3 quick taps. I remember checking the time first. 10:30 is a weird time for someone to show up unannounced. I wasn't expecting anyone. At first, I ignored it. Figured maybe someone had the wrong house. Then it came again. Same pattern. 3 knocks. Not aggressive, not hesitant either, just deliberate. So I got up and walked toward the door. Slow. Not scared or anything, just cautious. I didn't turn on any extra lights. I looked through the peephole. And that's when things felt off. There was a woman standing there. Mid-20s maybe, looked normal, but she wasn't facing the door. She was turned slightly to the side, like she was looking down the street, not moving, just standing there. I opened my mouth to ask who it was, but something stopped me. I don't even know what. Nothing looked obviously wrong, but something felt staged. like I was walking into something. So instead of opening the door, I just stood there, watching. A few seconds passed. Then she knocked again. Same 3 taps. Still not looking at the door. That's when I noticed her hands. They were clenched, not relaxed, tight, like she was bracing herself. And right as I focused on that, she spoke. But not to me. Quietly, barely above a whisper. Not yet. I froze, because she wasn't on the phone. There was no one else visible. And she definitely wasn't talking to me. She was talking to someone nearby, outside. That feeling hit immediately. That heavy, sinking feeling that something is wrong in a way you can't fully explain. So I stepped back. Didn't make a sound, didn't open the door, didn't respond. I just stood there in silence, waiting. After maybe 10 seconds, she knocked one last time, then walked away. Calm. No rush. Just walked off the porch and out of view. I waited a few minutes before checking the cameras, and that's when everything clicked. Because she wasn't alone. There was someone else, just out of sight from the door, pressed up against the wall, right next to the entrance, standing exactly where I wouldn't have seen them through the peephole, waiting. And the moment she stepped away, he moved, looked directly at the door, then followed her off the property. I didn't sleep that night. I just kept replaying it. How normal it looked. How easy it would have been to open the door without thinking. And the part that still gets me is that if I had opened it, I wouldn't have had time to close it again. Not even close. This didn't feel like anything at first. That's probably why it stuck with me. I was at a grocery store I don't usually go to. Just needed a few things, nothing serious. It was early evening, still bright outside, store wasn't crowded, completely normal. I grabbed a basket and started walking through the aisles. And at some point, I noticed this guy. Not in a weird way, just one of those moments where you become aware of someone being around you more than once. First time, he passed me near the entrance. Second time, I saw him in the snacks aisle. Then again near the back of the store. I didn't think anything of it. It's a grocery store. People move around. But then I stopped for a second, because something didn't line up. Every time I saw him, he wasn't holding anything. No basket, no items, just walking, slow. Looking around, but not really looking at products. That's when I got that feeling. Not fear, just awareness. Like something didn't quite fit. So I changed my path a bit. Went down an aisle I didn't need just to see if I'd cross him again. And I did. Almost immediately. He turned into the same aisle from the other side. And this time, he looked right at me. Not aggressively, just directly. Long enough that it felt intentional. Then he kept walking. That should have been enough for me to leave, but I didn't. I convinced myself it was nothing. Finished grabbing what I needed and went to the checkout. I got in line, and a few seconds later, he stepped in behind me, still empty-handed. That's when it finally clicked. I turned slightly like I was adjusting my position and looked at him again, trying to figure out why this felt familiar. And then it hit me. I had seen him before. Not in real life. Online. A few days earlier. There had been a post going around. Someone warning about a man following people in stores, waiting until they left, following them to their cars. I didn't remember all the details, but I remembered the face. His face. The second that thought locked in, my whole body reacted. Not panic, just clarity. I stepped out of the line, left everything there. Didn't explain, just walked straight out of the store. Fast. Got into my car and locked the doors immediately. And I sat there, heart beating faster than it should have been, telling myself I was probably wrong, that I was overreacting. Then I looked up and saw him, walking out of the store, scanning the parking lot, not confused, not wondering where I went, looking, like he was trying to find something that had just slipped away. I stayed low in my seat, didn't move, didn't start the car, just watched. After a few seconds, he stopped, then slowly turned and walked in the opposite direction. And I don't know if it was him. I can't prove it. But I do know this. If I hadn't recognized him when I did, I would have walked out of that store like normal, and he would have been right behind me. Close enough that by the time I realized, it would have already been too late.